Hey, Wanderlust Adventure Company here. Welcome back, everybody. We are in Utah. We're about 35 miles north of Moab or so. We are in a little wide spot on the interstate called Thompson Springs. Gonna take a little detour here on our way to Moab for the trail half tomorrow. Today is November the 3rd, 2023. Wanted to take a little detour here and take you guys up to Sego Canyon and show you what that's all about. It's a really neat little canyon. It's an easy trip if you're headed to Moab, or if you're coming through I-70 and you're going to Thompson Spring or going past Thompson Springs. It's a really easy little drive to go up into Sego Canyon. You'll see on the video what's cool about Sego Canyon here. Lots of artifacts, old towns, Indian history, things of that nature. I've been here a couple of times before, and it never really gets old, but I've never shot video before. That was before I did this YouTube thing. So let's head on up the road, go to Sego Canyon, and show you around a little bit, see what kind of interesting things we can see. All right, we'll see you up here shortly. Actually, I'll wait just a minute. If you look right here, going north straight through, right there the sign tells you Sego Canyon this way. The road is not bad at all. I haven't been up all the way to the top, but to most of the things that I've seen back here before, you could probably do this in just about any SUV, any kind of vehicle with a little bit of clearance is probably good. I don't know if I would bring a car up here or not, but as always, travel at your own risk. Don't take my word for it. If it doesn't look good, then don't keep going. But it is paved here for a little bit, but then it does turn to dirt. So anyway, I'm going to jump off here, get on up the road, and I'll jump back on when we get to something interesting. All right, everybody, we're starting up into Sego Canyon here. Road, like I say, the road is paved for a while. I don't remember how far. It's been a few years since I've been up in here, but yeah, you can see it's a real pretty little canyon. Looking through here. Do use caution if it is looking like there's going to be a lot of rain in the area. These roads do flood. Even though this is a paved road, it does get flooded over. And there are places like right here where the road turns to dirt. You can see this crossing right here. If it's raining heavy, you do not want to be trying to do this crossing. It's actually got a little bit of water flowing in it right now. But yeah, definitely check the weather when you're coming out here in this red rock country. Be aware of flash floods. They kind of come out of nowhere. So our first stop is going to be right here at the Sego Canyon rock art. And these are some of the most impressive rock art I've seen. You can see right there the sign, Sego Canyon rock art. We'll come up here and we're going to walk around a little bit. There's quite a bit of it from what I recall. Like I say, it's been a little while since I've been here, so we'll pull up here and get parked. There is a restroom facility here if you need that. All right, I'm gonna get parked and get situated. We'll go for a walk and take a look. All right, guys, we're gonna go around on this trail first. There's a couple of spots to go look at the rock art here. And there's some folks over at the other area. I don't want to bother them. We'll let them do their thing, and we'll just go over here. All of this stuff is real easy to get to. It's pretty easy walking. A little bit of rocks, as you can see. So I always recommend having good footwear. Something with a little bit of ankle support. Just like that. Help you keep your footing. No matter what, it's not fun to fall on it. Yeah, this stuff is real impressive. I was a firefighter for 20 years, and I got to know a fella from the Front Range that was a retired firefighter, and he's the one that brought me up here for the first time. I had no idea this was even here as many times as I'd been to Moab, but he showed this to me probably back in 2011 or so. So here it is. Here's our first one we're going to look at. This is really, really cool. This is some of the neatest rock art I've seen. And if you look up there too, you can also see some markings that say 1884 with the last name Whipple. So that's some of the first people, the first white men, or however we put it, that came up here to probably looking for places to run cattle or ranch, or passing through looking for better lands to use for ranching. But like I say, don't quote me, I'm not the best historian. I should probably look these places up a little better before I come in here and show them to you guys, but the rock art here is just absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, I'll try to zoom in a little more without you shaking too much here. Keep it steady, but yeah, that's really cool. Those are probably, to give you perspective, at least those taller ones are probably a couple of feet tall. They're big compared to a lot of the stuff you see. So there's that group of them. There are kiosks, but it looks like everything's pretty much gone. That used to be on there that would tell you a lot about what you're looking at. And another thing that blows my mind about this place is you'll see when we come around here to these other ones that the diversity in the kinds of rock art that's up here, it's not all just one specific kind, and I think these are really cool. You can see these here with the red, almost alien looking figures, but it is really cool rock art. If you ever get a chance to come up here, these are impressive. That big one right there, I'll guarantee you that thing is probably 6 foot tall. That's probably every bit as tall as I am, if I could stand right up next to it. But yeah, these are absolutely impressive pieces of rock art. Really neat. I have no idea what any of it means. And I don't know if anybody really does, but these were the ones that really, right here, are the ones that impressed me the first time I was up here in Sego. Really pretty cool. Just very different, diverse area. Alright guys, so that's the first bunch of them. I'm gonna hop off here and go back where we came from. I'm just looking there, that's where we came in on the paved road, kind of back towards where we came from. I'm going to jump off here and walk back towards where the truck is parked and see what else we can find. Okay guys, still here in Sego, and walked over to a different spot. You can see there's some more rock art. Unfortunately, there has been some vandalism. I don't understand why people can't just leave well enough alone and let everybody enjoy it. But anyway, these ones you can get kind of close to. Some more. Some of that, I don't know. Some of that doesn't look original to me. But the kiosk was talking about some recent vandalism, so Don't know how much of that is vandalism, how much of that is original. I don't think I've ever been to this section before. The other stuff, they have it all fenced off. So I don't know if this part is just something somebody's done, or if this is the vandalism that they're talking about at the kiosk. It does not look as old as the other stuff, so I'm not sure, but I'll just kind of show you the area where we're at. Back around. Down that direction is where that large rock art was. Back in the parking area. The restroom's right there. I'm going to walk back down to the truck, and we're going to go up the road a little ways to it's a now ghost town. I can't remember if it was called Sego. It might have been. Like I say, it's been a while, and this was a very spur of the moment decision to come up in here and take a little video for you guys. It was all time dependent today, and time said that I could come up here. So I didn't do my homework for y'all, but I'm sure if you plug Sego Canyon into a Google search, it will tell you everything you want to know. Alright, we'll see you when we get up to the ghost town. Alright, we're just up the main road here a little ways, past where the rock art is. Just going to take this little offshoot. I believe there's just a little building here. A lot of these buildings back here are kind of cool because they're made out of stone. Because that was yeah, you can see the building right there. Right out there in front of us. Just a little building. I'm not going to go up to it. There's really not much to look at, but just little buildings that are all pretty much made out of stone, because that was their primary building material around here. And so they're kind of neat, and they hold up to the time really well because it's stone instead of wood and everything else. But yeah, like I say, came back here with an old firefighter friend of mine. He showed me around and just had no idea this was here. It's a really easy trip. The road is pretty easy. Just went past a ProMaster van, nothing special, just a regular stock front-wheel drive ProMaster van, and he was doing just fine. So definitely a place you can come look, explore a little bit. A lot of little roads that take off back through here. Kind of wander around, make a loop, if I remember correctly, but looks like we got the overlanding crowds here in front of us, blocking up the road. Alright, I'm gonna jump off here for a minute. Alright guys, we're just up the road from those two vehicles that we just saw, and here we are, Sego Canyon Cemetery. I'll let you guys pause that if you want to read it, but it talks about how you leave coins if you're for military servicemen and what each coin means. So yeah, check that out. That's kind of cool. I remember being here. I remember reading about that. We'll just take a quick walk through here, but it is a cemetery. Be respectful of what it really is. So, but yeah, you can see coins. Just another little note while we're talking about being respectful. There is private property back here. A lot of this is BLM, but there are sections of private property. Be respectful of that as well. Do not trespass. I would imagine folks that live back here because they don't really want to be around people. So keep that in mind. There, that one says 1918 on it. Yeah, Sego Canyon Cemetery, everybody. Let's walk around here a little bit. Yeah, here's the one I remember. It talks about this baby. 1926. Back when being born just wasn't even a given. How things have changed in 100 years. But I'm not going to spend too much time in here. It's service vets, Vietnam era. All right, guys. A lot of these little cemeteries dot through the west, where all these little towns sprung up over the years. Kind of a interesting bit of ironwork around that. It's just been there so long you can't even read anything on it anymore. But you know, at one point in time, somebody came here to mourn these folks. Wow. I can't imagine trying to scratch out a life in such a incredibly difficult place. There's just not a lot of things growing around here. There is water running down the creek today, which is impressive, but I don't know. I just can't imagine it. Had to be a different kind of life, that's for sure. All right, that's the cemetery. We're gonna get back in the truck, go up the road to the town. There's a couple of really cool buildings up there that we'll look at, and that will probably be it. We need to get down to Moab. We got to head up Cane Creek and go get all of our race packet, get our bibs, all of our information for tomorrow's half marathon, which is going to be really cool. I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that's run with my electronic device, because I would like to capture some of that course and part of the race on video. So that'll be something new, and it'll be new for me, because generally when I run, I don't run with any electronics at all. I don't run with music, I don't run with my phone, I don't run with a watch that tracks my time or where I've been or how many miles. It's been kind of my time for disconnect from all of those things. So it'll be new, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting. It'll be something different, and hopefully it's something you guys will enjoy. It's a really, really cool course. I ran this course in 2016, and I've been looking forward to getting back to it. So anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. We're gonna go up the road. When we get to Sego, the town, I will get some more video. There's a couple of really, really cool buildings there, so more to come. All right, guys, we're up the road from the cemetery here a little bit, and we'll go look at it here in a second. But there's an old homestead over there. But coming through that last wash, I saw something very interesting, and it was a piece of rail. So it kind of piques my interest that maybe they had a narrow gauge railway up through here at one point in time when they were mining either, I'm guessing, uranium or coal. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit, but there's the wash, which surprisingly enough has water in it. But check this out. I've seen bridge pieces as we've been driving up through here, the concrete stuff that holds up the timbers, but yeah, this is really cool. So I don't know if this was a vehicle bridge or if this was a train trestle by chance. I don't know. Do we dare walk on it? I'm not going to. It looks a little sketchy. I am by myself up here. And I think about only one person on this planet knows where I am right now. And she's about 200 miles away from me. And I have no service. So I'm going to be on the safe side and not walk on that. But yeah, that's really cool. All this stuff was built by hand. So pretty neat. Just more of our history. There you can see some of it that's been washed down. There's waterline markers as you're driving up through here on the road, and I don't think I absolutely wouldn't want to be in here if it was raining. That water line comes way up over the road, like plenty far to completely bury most vehicles, including my power wagon, which I drove up in here today. Yeah, let's go have a look over here on the other side of the road. Guessing it was a homestead. Somebody lived here, or maybe storage. The town of Sego, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a building right there, and that's the actual town. So we're right on the edge of the town itself. Right in here, we got several of these little structures. That one says retainer on it. Must have been whatever kind of, I'm guessing a shipping crate or something. They probably repurposed just about everything they could. With a lean-to. This one's all wood. Like I say, a lot of the stuff up here is built out of sandstone, and rightfully so, because it's the predominant material in the area, which you'll see with this one. Buried on top with earth, timber structure, but the walls are all made out of this sandstone. Pretty cool. There you can see the roof timbers. It looks like a big ass rock came down and smashed this thing at one point in time and broke that gigantic timber. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's probably, I don't know, 8-10 inches. There's my forearm. That's a big timber. Looks like this big rock must have rolled down the mountain and got it. Pretty cool. It's just all of that was hand laid, one piece at a time. Just intense amount of manual labor. There's a couple other ones right over here. We'll go take a quick look at those. Sorry to hurry you guys, but I'm going to have to get into Moab pretty quick. Just more of that same thing. Guessing some of these were for storage, possibly, maybe for living. Not real sure. This one over here I'm fairly certain was a cellar before the advent of any kind of refrigeration. But you can see that one was dug down into the ground, buried. So I'm going to guess it was a cellar for trying to keep things cool and preserve them. We'll run up here to Sego town real quick, and a couple of these buildings are just really, really cool. This next one up here in particular is very cool, I think. But I get a kick out of this kind of stuff, so I wanted to come up here today, shoot a little video for you guys. That way, if you're in the area and you got even an hour, you can see most of this. It's not even 10 miles off of the interstate back up in here. And like I said, the road is pretty good. The only part that's a little rough is the washout crossings. So I wouldn't bring a car up in here, and it is a little sandy, so you want some good traction, but you can get just about anything in here. All right, I'll be back with you guys when we get up here into the town. Well, we didn't get too far, but There's some more of that trestle work, if that's the right word for it, or bridge work. I guess it's not technically a trestle, but ever since I saw that piece of rail, everything makes me curious if there was a narrow gauge railroad up in here. Narrow gauge was used a lot in these kinds of operations. It was easier to set up. The things were smaller, they were lighter, they were a little better suited for the terrain. So yeah, now I'm super curious. I'm gonna have to do some research and see if they ran a narrow gauge railway up in here. So, all right, here we are. This building is awesome. I got to show this to you guys. And shoot, the first thing I see is somebody's been spray painting all over it, but that's a bummer. So let's go check it out real quick. I'm just gonna keep rolling here. Yeah, check this out, guys. Look at that. Isn't that just cool? What a neat building. Yeah, I think this one was looked like it was 2 stories. Yeah, totally was. Yeah, see our lower level, which probably has been filled in with sand a little bit over time. But yeah, look at this place. Look at how cool this is. I'm gonna guess that this was a floor level where you see all those wood beams. But look at that, they stuccoed the inside of this too. And this was quite a building for its time. Look at how cool this building is. This is just impressive to me. You can see the timbers that would have been the roof. But man, it's cool as can be. Just a neat building. And the thing you notice about this sandstone is when you get inside of it, it's just exponentially cooler than it is out in the sun. So I'm sure that was welcome. I guarantee you it gets over 100 degrees here in the summertime. Yeah, rock walls, rock work, pretty neat stuff. Neat country. Definitely wear good footwear, and just keep an eye out for things like snakes. I haven't ran into any out here, but I'm sure there's rattlesnakes around here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. There's some more building of some sorts. Take a look back there at that building. Oh, the trail's coming up this way. Let's just go have a peek. I don't know if there's anything up here or not, but generally where the path is a little beaten, there's something. Yeah, this just kind of wanders off that way. Yeah. Don't see anything in particular over there, so I'm not going to go too far. Like I say, I do need to get down to Moab. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, because I sure do. I know it gets a little long sometimes, but I kind of prefer to show it to you in the raw than just a bunch of overproduced stuff. See it from my viewpoint. Just like that. This one appears to be falling in on itself, but it was also dug into the side of the mountain. Yeah, and you can kind of see the definition of where the roof line would have been. So it had a facade on the front and a peaked roof. Pretty cool. All right. And as always, if any of you know more about this Sego place than I do, feel free to drop it in the comments. I am not coming out here and proclaiming that I know much of anything. Other than this was probably mining, either coal or uranium. We are back towards the Book Cliffs, so I'm gonna lean towards coal production, because that's kind of what they do in the Book Cliffs. But we're also close to Moab, where uranium production was a thing, and it was also a thing around the vintage of a lot of the stuff I see around here. You know, the 40s and 50s, after World War II and during World War II, when they were using the uranium for the nuclear program that was getting started. Yeah, here's an old car. There's a few old cars back here we'll look at around the corner. Neat old car. I don't know what it is. That's not my vintage of vehicles, so I couldn't even begin to guess what this thing is. Pretty neat though. Gas pump? Maybe? Or was that a fridge at some point in time? I don't know. I'd be curious. I don't know. They would have had to have a generator or something up here, that's for sure. Yeah, here was a wooden structure. You can see how well it stood up to the test of time. Guessing this would have been a home or maybe an office for the mine or whatever was going on up here. Pretty cool. Yeah, definitely wear good shoes. Man, there's nails and stuff everywhere out here to step on. Broken glass, pieces of metal, rocks, all kinds of junk. All right. We'll go back to the truck and head on up the road. Be with you soon. All right, guys, here's our answer. I don't think I've ever been to this part of the canyon. It's hard to see, and I'm not going to get out and walk much because I'm in a hurry, but if you look back up in there, that's coal. And coming in, I could see a couple more that were coal. Everything over this way has coal. I'm guessing they mined coal up in here. When I get back down to service, I'll do a little research, and before I end this video, I'll pop on and give some better info. But everything I'm seeing says this was coal production up here. I would imagine they used it for whatever. I mean, back then coal was used for heating, manufacturing, a lot of things they used coal for. So this is where the mine was. Someday when I get back, we'll spend an hour or two up in here and really go take a look at it. But there's the answer in my book, and if I find something different, you'll see it towards the end of this video. I will do some research, and I will drop a closing statement about what really went on up in here. Just to be sure, I hate to tell anybody the wrong information. Some more concrete work, which would have been another bridge over these. Every one of these gully crossings has got concrete work. So I'm guessing they probably had a train. Little narrow gauge train. Right up there, check that out. Little stone structure. Either workers' cabins or something of that nature. Yeah, they mined coal all along here. This is very typical of what I've seen in other parts of the Book Cliff Range. That Book Cliff Range kind of stretches from roughly the Grand Junction area all the way out here, way out here into Utah. And it's all just clear full of coal. And in fact, when I was a kid, we would go up into the Book Cliffs and you could find fossils and all kinds of neat stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. This is neat. It's a neat little area, neat little place to could come up here and you could probably spend a good chunk of a afternoon just really checking it out. There's a lot of little roads that pop into places here. I'm not going to go up all of them today, as I said, but yeah, this is pretty neat. Yeah, you can see everything like right down there. Bam, it's all coal. So they mined coal all through here. All right, guys, we'll get back with you here shortly. All right, guys, that was the biggest part of Sego Canyon. Actually, that was all of the ghost town that we looked at. Thompson Canyon, which is one canyon over, has some other things to look at up there. Didn't have time to run up there today, but if you come into the area, that's another little stretch you can take and see some other stuff. I did have service when I got down here to out of the canyon, and I looked it up, and yes, it was coal production. It sounds like it started in the 1890s and struggled a lot between the 1890s until it was completely closed and the land was sold in 1947. So yeah, like a lot of these little towns and little coal mines that happened up through these Book Cliff areas, they all struggled a lot to make a profit. They were just too small to really, and probably too far away. I can't imagine where they were taking the coal unless it was to Moab or maybe just to Thompson Springs here. And this Thompson Springs town is tiny, so I can imagine it was really hard to make any money off of that mine, and a lot of those small mines never really did take off. Neat little place, as you saw, kind of a cool little easy trip to take if you're in the area and you have a little bit of time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I appreciate everybody that watches. It's humbling to me, as I've mentioned many times before. Please subscribe if you haven't. This stuff's only going to get better. Got a lot of really cool things going on right now, and I'm hoping through the winter to really start being able to refine this just a little bit. Like I kind of mentioned, I don't want to make it a total production, but I guess I do kind of like this stuff in the raw, just so you can see it as I see it. But I would like to make things a little bit cleaner, and maybe have a real intro and some other things to kind of define what Wanderlust Adventure Company really is. I've got, like I said, some really cool stuff going on right now, and a lot of talk about what we're going to do with Wanderlust Adventure Company, which technically isn't a real company yet, but maybe it will be soon. So I am very grateful for each and every one of you that watches these videos, especially if you stuck around to this point. I have a lot of gratitude to be able to come out and do these kinds of things, and at my age of 48, going on 49, to still have the wherewithal to run these half marathons. And I just am very thankful for the life that I get to live, and I'm really extremely thankful for what's happened in the last 10 days. It's been nothing short of spectacular. You know who you are. I love you, and I love you all, viewers. Next time you see me, we'll be coming from the Moab Trail half. Stay tuned for that. For now, Wanderlust Adventure Company out.